Hi, I'm Bill Patton with Tennis.life, and I'm excited to have Sarah Stone on the show from the WTCA. And what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the upcoming Indian Wells Coaches Workshop in collaboration with the PTR. And we're going to find out a little bit about Sarah and the WTCA and what's going to be happening in 2019. So Sarah, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm back, I'm back.
You
So anyway,
back.
I'm back.
Good
Now,
news.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and your growing up, your educational experience as a player and then kind of into coaching.
So I grew up in Australia. You can see a little bit in the background here, my Hawthorn Football Club flag, diehard football person. But I played a lot of tennis growing up. I played the ITF tour all around the world. Then had a little bit of a break from tennis for a few years. I was really burned out and did some other stuff and somehow got back into tennis by one of my friends asking me would I like to come and play some matches in Europe, and didn't know much about club matches, but I thought that's a lot better than coaching tennis in the freezing cold Melbourne winters. I'll go over and have a roll of the dice there. So I played club matches for a season in Holland, and a couple of friends were playing pro tournaments. So I thought, might go and do that a couple of weeks around the world. Went to Japan and found some success with tournaments, and decided I might give it a roll playing the pro tour for a couple of years, which I did. And I had a great time playing on the pro tour. I played mainly doubles. I was more a people person and like a partner beside me, team sport, and played doubles with Sam Stosur. We did pretty well. We won 4 tournaments. We played the Australian Open together. I also played with another friend at Wimbledon in the main draw there. We knocked off Dinara Safina in the qualies of the doubles at Wimbledon back then, which is a pretty good scalp considering she won in the world. I didn't play that long. I didn't really enjoy playing that much. I got injured, and it was a very easy transition for me to switch into coaching because I really love helping people, and I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. And what was that immediate transition like? I mean, who did you start coaching, and what were some of the things that you encountered as you shifted your mind from being player to coach?
For me, it was a really easy shift, and I know it's not an easy shift for a lot of players because they find it difficult to become coaches and not think from the perspective of themselves, the player. But I had an injury for probably about a year. I had a really bad foot injury, and I just sort of started talking about tennis with Sam, who I play doubles with, and periodically get out on the court and work on some things. And then it's a pretty straightforward transition. We'd play doubles together, we're friends, knew each other well. I had grown up in coaching. My dad's a tennis coach, coached Barbara Potter, American player. So I just said to Sam, she didn't have a coach, I can help you out if you want. And it clicked pretty well. We worked well on the court, and I did that for a period of 3 years where she became #1 doubles player in the world with Lisa Raymond, 27 in the world in singles, and she won 3 Grand Slam doubles titles during that time. So it was a pretty successful coaching gig straight out of the gate, but a very easy transition for me.
Yeah. Did you see that thing with Djokovic where he was teasing the guy from Italy, right? Hey,
Oh yeah, it was brilliant.
Hey,
I love.
yeah, a couple of 3 Grand Slams, not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could do the same thing there. Yeah, 3 Grand Slams, not so bad. She did well.
No, and I think that's an interesting thing where in many coaches' minds and in many people's minds in the tennis world that if you've won a Grand Slam, that makes you legit, and if you haven't, then you're not, right? If you've been #1, then you're legit, then and that's
legit compared to what?
Right. And so we have the sliding scale of legitimacy. And that's something that bothers me because I think there are a lot of tremendous coaches working in the trenches who develop a lot of players, and you never hear about them.
Yeah, it's not as, I guess it's not as covered in the media. So, well, not too much coaching is covered in the media, but certainly there's this elitist kind of scale in tennis, and people go, they say, well, what was your ranking? What was my ranking? And it's also, it's almost like an order. I'm here and you're there because I had a higher ranking, or my player did that. And you're completely right. It takes a village, and we're all in this industry together. And if we could get that mentality, tennis should be one of the biggest, most powerful industries in the world, and it's not. And there's a reason for that. And I think that could be one of the reasons we don't work together.
Yeah. So, all right. So now, one of the things that I really had noticed immediately going to my first WTCA event was a different attitude about community. And
yes.
Because, and I don't know if this was intentional or unintentional, but either way, I loved it, was the fact that there didn't seem to be like a hierarchy, that when we all went out to dinner, anybody could sit at any table. There wasn't like a big kids table.
I would be at the little kids table.
Over here, board of directors only.
Yeah, it's not like that. For us, that's one of the most critical pieces of this community, is that everybody's the same. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done, or if you've never coached and you're new to coaching, you've won Grand Slams as a player or coach. Everyone's on the same level at the WTCA conferences. And I really think that comes from leadership. Of course, we have quite a big team, but the people, myself and Anne Grossman-Wunderlich, really are the drivers behind the initial WTCA, and our board is, of course, expanded. But for Anne and I, it's just about, everyone's the same. And we see the same from the tour. We've seen that people who have won Grand Slams might be treated a little better. They're a little bit more special. And so everyone's always missing out somewhere. Someone's always got someone who's done more. And that doesn't really make you feel good. And particularly on the women's side, when you want to get women involved in doing something, it's about building relationships. It's about acknowledging people and making them feel important. And I think everyone, when they come to WTCA conferences, they feel valued and really part of it. And that's what we really strive to do. So I'm glad that was your experience, because that's the number one most important thing for us.
Yeah, no, it's terrific. And, in contrast, there's another notable, teaching organization that I belong to that, it took me 3 or 4 or 5 years of going back to the same conference before it seemed like even anybody remembered me. So,
yeah,
really tough breaking in, but I was determined. And how many young coaches are not that determined? They go once or twice, nobody really talks to them, and then they just go, okay, screw this, I'm just done with it.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah, and that experience happens to a lot of coaches, and these people keep coming back. And at some organizations, nobody remembers even who they are. Or there's times where you meet people over and over, and some faces it just doesn't sink in. But as coaches, that's actually our job, is to put a name to a face, and that's the number one skill, and to use somebody's first name. But there's times that you might forget, but there's still a way of making that person feel valued and recognized, even though you might have to say, can you just remind me what the person's name is? That's fine. But at some point you have to be invested in that person and the members and the attendees, not just as a number, but as a valued part of the community.
Right. No, I hate when I go up to somebody, I'm like, hey, Stephanie, and she says, no, it's Marva.
Okay, well, have a friend side by your side and just tell them to remind you of names.
Exactly. All right. So now let's get into the specifics about this upcoming event in Indian Wells. So we're going to do the who, what, why, where, when, how, who's coming, just give us the whole layout, including specialty courses.
Specialty courses, that's a new thing that we're actually doing at the Indian Wells Conference. We didn't do it last year, but we're doing a super session where we have Dr. Charlotte Alabaster. She's a MD. She's going to do some work with people on burnout. Tim Baton's doing a specialty course about how to drive more women from the business perspective to grow your business, make the women feel included. Tom Newkirk is a civil rights attorney and a gender expert. He is coming along and he's going to talk with the female coaches about gender bias in our industry and give them some tools and help them with whatever they should need. He's also going to talk to some of the guys about how to be inclusive with their female coaches. And the other specialty course, out of my head, I can't remember what it was. Who was the other person that was going to do it?
Oyvind.
No, he's doing a different course. Dr. Michelle Clear, she's doing one as well. So this will be from 12 to 1:30. We have a lunch break, but you can sit in small groups with the speakers. So those are those courses. We have great speakers. We are very fortunate.
Now, also, maybe I'm confused. But Judy Murray and Oyvind are doing PTR stuff, but it's in the neighborhood, but it's not WTCA per se.
Well, it's kind of like a week-long event. So Oyvind's doing a course, Judy's doing her course. That is outside of the conference. Those specialty short courses I said were included as part of the conference. So you can spend time doing an hour like intensive session with the speakers who are also doing these specialty speak sessions during our conference. But they do have the specialty courses on either end of the conference.
Okay.
So Judy's doing that and Oyvind's doing that. And they're both speakers at the conference, which is great. Both amazing people. They give so much tennis and both from different angles. So totally worth spending as much time as you can with both of them. We have Debbie Graham, Debbie Schaefer, she now is Marianne Wardell. They went to Stanford together. They're presenting together, both in California. Got a strong draw of California people. Joey Blake, I caught up with him yesterday. He's coming back again. Robert Lansdorp. Robert he's the godfather. He's the coach. He's the man. No, he's a great coach, and he's going to be doing a session on court, actually. He's going to do some on court and some off court. Myself and Ann Grossman, we're doing a talk together. Judy's presenting, Dr. Michelle Clear, two of my great friends from Australia from Tennis Fitness, Nathan Martin and Giselle Martin. They're going to do it on court.
I have to throw something in there. I got to throw something in there.
You got to all right, throw something at me.
All right. If there's the potential that if Robert and I get together, there could be fireworks. So if Robert, here's my pledge. If Robert sort of impromptu starts insulting me in front of everybody, I resolve not to fire back at him and turn it into a big scene. I'll just go use the restroom.
You're a diffuser. You're a low-key kind of guy, right?
No, I mean, with Robert, though, Robert brings out the worst in me, and I've been to his house a couple of times, and you should see us together for 5 hours arguing.
Well, sometimes arguments spark the greatest things that have happened in history. So let's see how it rolls. But he definitely has some great stuff to help coaches with their careers. He's been a highly successful coach, one of the most successful ever. So we're really pleased to have him because he doesn't do this very often, actually almost never. So we're really stoked.
I want to also tell a really quick story about a story that Robert told me, and this may prepare you for his talk. So he went to a USTA high performance thing, and during one part of his talk, he said things that were patently wrong and physically impossible. And okay, as a test.
Okay. I was saying,
and so out of the 25, 30 coaches there, only one coach questioned him on that.
So he did it as like
nodding and smiling like, oh, this is awesome. And then
that's really interesting.
One coach raised his hand and said, hey, can you help me with that? I'm not seeing how that works. And then Robert said, yeah, you're right. Thank you for thinking for yourself. And then what's wrong with the rest of you people?
How weird is that? So no one picked up on it at all?
Nobody picked up on it at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does something like that to see who's paying attention?
Well, hopefully I'm gonna be prepared for that, because if no one's saying anything, I'm gonna say something. So at least we get to hear what he really wants to say. But he will do on court and off court, which is really cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So now, all right. So tell us a little bit more about the details. Date, time, what's it cost? How do you sign up?
So if you're a WTCA or PTR member, it's $199. I think that's a great deal. It's 2 full days. You get tickets to Indian Wells, to the matches, main draw matches on Thursday night. It's March 7th and 8th at the Lakes Country Club. So it's really a lot of fun. It's a great event.
All right.
So, I mean, I loved it and you loved it. You're coming back, so that's a good thing. If Bill Patton's coming back, it must have been good.
Well, I've actually decided, do I really want to go to an outdoor event in Stanford in January, or do I want to go to Indian Wells in March? And it's sort of a no-brainer.
Oh, well, yeah. What did you do about the hotel? Because I know the hotel is kind of expensive.
Oh, I'm Mr. Cheap. I go and stay at the worst possible place I can find to save a couple of bucks, because I'm just not very picky that way.
Yeah, yeah. See, some people are, but you can get some good deals out there.
Yeah, I think the tricky thing is I like hotels.com, because you can go through and you can see a bunch of reviews and all that. That's my go-to. But if you haven't already booked a hotel, I would say get on that today, because every day.
Ask me. I have some booked. I have quite a few rooms. Okay. So I've got them booked. So if anyone needs them, they got to hit me up. You can't go directly to the hotel, because I book these months and months in advance.
Okay, and what's that deal?
So it's still on the steeper side. If you want one of those fancy ones, it's $240 a night at the Shadow Ridge.
Yeah.
We have a couple around $169. It's in Cathedral City. It's a Holiday Inn. I think it's Holiday Inn Express. But that's not too far. It's only 18 minutes from the site. So, even the Marriott, the Shadow Ridge, is still 14 minutes from the side. I mean, it's a big area out there. So you're not going to stay right at one of the country clubs, because that's where they have their houses. They typically don't have that many hotels in that immediate vicinity.
Right. And, we can pretty much count on people going out. I mean, I'm going to be down there really late on the 6th, but I'm planning on going out to dinner with whoever wants to go out 7th and 8th. I mean, there's sort of like an unofficial dinner.
Yeah, there is, but we now have a networking night 4 to 6 on Thursday. So we do a networking 4 to 6, beers and I'm not sure what, nachos or something like that. Then we're all going to head into the tenors. I'm sticking around Friday night. So the conference will end, but then we'll all, as a group, get together. I'll be at the little kids table. You'll definitely be at the big kids table, but we'll be there. We will be there. And it's Friday night. So yeah, it's going to be great. Dean Hollingworth, he's a superstar. He's coming to do a presentation. I'm really excited. Mary Pat's coming from the Riviera. My boss, Shauna Wilson's coming along. Yeah, I have a boss. She's a good boss. Takes care of me.
All right. I have an analogy that I'm going to attribute to Dean Hollingsworth. So I don't know how many people watch professional
Technically, it's Hollingworth, just because I have to let you know that. Hollingworth. But yeah, go on. What is it? He's a good man.
If you've ever seen really bad professional wrestling, then it makes you appreciate good professional wrestling, because then you realize, hey, it's a pretty hard act to follow. It's a pretty hard thing to do, to pull off. Yeah. So bad wrestling makes good wrestling look better. So the thing that blew my mind was watching Dean, how I realized that I'd actually seen some really bad fitness presentations before.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
That Dean, one thing I really enjoyed about Dean was how he kind of broke down the fundamentals of some plyometric stuff that I think people do wrongly. And I see videos all the time of people doing a very poor job of technique in plyometrics. using unstable surface training incorrectly. They're actually harming their athletes more than they're helping them.
Yeah, he's really good, and so is Tennis Fitness. It's the first time they've come over from Australia to present in the US. So they've worked with 9 Grand Slam champions. I traveled with Giselle, with Sam Stosur for 3 years, 5 world number ones. So they got some experience, but they've spent their whole time outside of the tour developing junior players for that foundation and correct technique. So they're going to address different areas, but they'll be fantastic. Nick Saviano is coming along. He's going to do an awesome presentation. So I think it's pretty stacked up. We've got a lot of great people, and we're really pleased that people want to be involved in the community. And we love working with the PTR, and they're very strong about supporting female coaches and men and women working well together. So we're just pleased that we can get back to the desert and do it all again.
Well, and part of what I've seen at a lot of conferences is sort of some wasted time, some presentations that you wish you weren't there for. But last year, I just felt like it was terrific, from beginning to end. There wasn't a poor presentation out of any of them. They were all good to very good to great. So we and Patricia He is Canadian. She was a top player as well. She's worked with her kids. She's worked for the Federation. She's top 30 player. She's also coming to do a presentation. I think because people feel really part of the community, they love to spend time and give their time to educate coaches. So we're first to say we've been very lucky, but we've really tried to develop a community where people want to be part of it. And it's like friends, everyone's the same. We hang out. It's great education. I learn a lot of stuff when I sit in on all the presentations. So yeah, it's going to be great. Everyone come along. I know it's a little bit of a haul. I'm driving up on Thursday morning from LA at 6 a.m. So I'm doing the drive. And if you only want to do one night's accommodation, pretty easy. Thursday night, in and out, stay with Bill. He'll chuck a roll away in there. No, but you can make it affordable, but we have to invest. What's that? I'm taking applications.
What's the criteria? Post it on a forum. Have some time.
I don't know if I can say that on a show that's going to be publicly.
Okay. Take some time to think it over. It'd be great to see you. We're really excited. We always love having you there.
And I'm going to be happy to give every participant a Bones Original tennis shirt. And
they're sweet. I like them a
lot. I'm liquidating this and getting ready for the new line that I'm going to come up with. But anyway, I'm going to have a booth down there, and so I'm going to be selling some stuff. So you'll see the products. But anyway, is there anything else we need to talk about before we cut out here?
No, I think we're all good. Of course, it's always amazing talking to you, unless you got any other questions for me.
You know what? I just one more. If you can just kind of highlight the rest of 2019, just flash through the other events coming up, just so that, this becomes a little more of a perpetual, will help you for the rest of 2019. So what else?
Brilliant. We had WTCA conference in the UK. We moved it from Paris. 22nd and 23rd of June. It's in Eastbourne. It's on the site of the ATP WTA tournament. Then we're going to move on to New York again. We're back to the weekend before the Open. So it's the 24th and 25th of August. And then you can head to the main draw on Monday. Then we are going to go to Shenzhen. We have not finalized the details there, but it's the 25th and 26th of October, right before the WTA championships. So you'll get free tickets to the championships. That'll be awesome. And then we hope to head back to Naples and work with the ITA again with the college coaches. It was an awesome event. We go around their dates, but they're the 4 events coming up on the calendar this year. We're all around, and we love seeing everyone there. So thank you so much for your support. Can't wait to see you soon and get myself some of those T-shirts. Maybe we can whack that on on your line.
Anything's possible. Hey, what just happened there? All right. So it looks like, I don't know what just happened. Sarah,
Hey, for some reason I cut out there.
Yeah, let's have a choppy end to the show. Why not? But anyway.
Sorry, my thing completely went off the line.
No, it's gonna be that'll be a fun end. It's like, okay, wow, shock.
We're back.
All right, hey, Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. And
Hey, Bill. See you soon, and thanks for everything you do in tennis.
All right, take care,
Peace
Sarah.
and love. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.